It's victory or failure. Time runs short, and each choice feels like a wager. Every action carries a burden. A single mistake could end it all. The stage is set, where every decision determines fate. On the sun-baked savanna, a lone buffalo grazes, unaware that its destiny is being written from afar, hidden among the ochre grass. A pride of lionesses watches intently, tracking its every step with relentless patience. Their eyes are locked, waiting for the perfect chance. The air grows still, as if the land itself is holding its breath. Then, with a quiet shuffle, the signal comes. The pride bursts forth, turning the plains into a storm of dust and claws. Facing a Cape buffalo is not a challenge for the timid. To topple such a giant, every lion must perform flawlessly. One lioness makes the first daring move, Naira, the seasoned huntress who never shrinks from the fire of the chase. Yet she knows this is no fight to face alone. She relies on Shadow, the pride's solitary male and her trusted partner. But in the decisive instant, Shadow hesitates. He stays back, leaving Naira exposed before the buffalo's lethal horns. The beast counters with brutal strength, hurling her to the ground. In a heartbeat, the hunter becomes the hunted. Desperate, Naira scrambles for her life, but Shadow is nowhere to be found. The buffalo's triumph is brief. Alone, it cannot resist the full force of the pride. As Naira regains her footing, the lions regroup, circling tighter and sealing every escape. This time, the balance shifts, and fate tilts in favor of the hunter's dot as the sun rises higher, painting the plains in golden hues. A massive shape begins to stir. It is the herd of African buffalo giants united into a moving wall of muscle and horn. The bulls stand powerful and broad, while the females, though smaller, are equally unyielding. Dot at the herd's center, new life finds refuge. Calves only months old stumble on shaky legs, encircled by protective mothers and vigilant females. Within this vast and shifting society, dominance is not gained through brute force. It is shaped by the rhythm of seasons. Leadership rests with the oldest and wisest female, the matriarch. Her horns, worn smooth by years of struggle, serve not just as weapons, but as a crown of experience. Within her memory lies a hidden map. Ancient riverbeds turned to dust, and secret water sources known only to her bloodline. She carries the past within her, guiding the herd's future. On the outer edges, mature buffalo form a living barricade. But not every gaze is fixed outward in search of danger. Here, within the herd itself, another kind of power begins to rise. A challenger steps forward. His horns, still dark and razor-sharp, have yet to feel the dry crack of a true battle for dominance. His eyes are not cast outward to the horizon, but fixed inward toward the seasoned buffalo. His ambition is a storm of muscle and rising strength, waiting for the moment to break free. In his youthful gaze, the scars of the elders are not marks of honor, but symbols of weakness. The herd presses onward. The pounding of hooves, the sound of heavy breaths, and the scrape of hide against hide form a living rhythm of endurance. At the very core of this world of giants lies its smallest life. Shielded from predators and rival bulls, the newborn calf sees only a forest of towering legs. Its survival rests not on its own power, but on its bond with its mother and the protective fortress of the herd. It is the promise of tomorrow, trembling yet determined, for each sunrise marks its victory. Dot as the sun blazes hotter. The herd slows its pace, knowing the relief of acacia shade is close. Yet watchfulness never ceases. Buffalo society is intricate and far from peaceful. Two massive bulls, each weighing nearly a ton, confront one another. Horns collide with a sharp crack that rings across the plains. Their thick bosses' dense shields where horn meets skull absorb the crushing force. These duels seldom end in death, but they reaffirm rank. The victor cements his place, while the defeated fades quietly into the background. This is the unwritten law of the savanna, ensuring only the strongest carry the legacy forward. Around them, the herd remains calm. Old oxpeckers perch on broad backs, feeding on parasites in a partnership of survival. When the sun reaches its peak, the herd settles beneath scattered acacia shade. Yet even in rest, their ears turn and their eyes scan. For here, the needs of the herd will always outweigh any single bond. As darkness spreads across the plains, the savanna's most cunning hunters awaken. Lions, masters of stealth and surprise, understand that bringing down a buffalo demands strategy as much as power. At the first sign of threat, the herd responds instinctively, locking into a defensive circle with horns outwards, a living fortress of muscle and determination. With sunrise, the land reveals its harshest face. The dry season has reached its height, and the long march for water and food becomes a trial of endurance. The young falter as they struggle to keep pace, while the elderly, worn and scarred, begin to fall behind. Yet the herd never pauses. They move guided by the wisdom of the leading females, whose memories carry the hidden map of past waterholes. This ancient knowledge, passed through generations, keeps the herd alive. Even in scarcity, the buffalo endure. Their strong bodies store reserves, and their finely tuned systems allow them to withstand hunger and drought. In Africa's vast wilderness, they are not mere survivors, but masters of resilience, blending strength with unity. Under the fading glow of twilight, the herd flows like a living river of determination. Their greatest weapon is not just horn or size, but the collective bond that binds them together. These giants embody a truth as old as the land itself. Survival comes only to those who stand as one. For the buffalo, solidarity is life. And while they march with endurance, the rulers of the night prepare. The lions, conserving every ounce of energy during the heat of day, wait with patience. Their power awakens only when the sun falls, for their hunts belong to the shadows, stretching from dusk until the first light of dawn. At first glance, it may appear that hunting poses little difficulty for the rulers of the savanna. The reality, however, is far harsher. Only about 1 in 5 hunts end successfully. When a kill is made, a lion can gorge itself on as much as 66 pounds of meat in one sitting, tearing off massive chunks and swallowing them almost whole. Food is never enough for all. Some may manage only 11 to 15 pounds before it is gone. To secure such a feast requires immense energy, which is why lions often look exhausted and spend close to 20 hours each day resting. The lioness, though smaller than the male, plays the most vital role in survival. Weighing between 275 and 400 pounds, compared to the male's heavier frame of 330 to 570 pounds. Females are far more agile and hunt with cooperation. They are responsible for nearly 90% of the pride's kills, working in silence and coordination. Beyond hunting, they also carry the responsibility of raising and protecting the young. Now, they rest in the open, their golden coats blending with the grasses. These predators are ambush specialists, striking from patience and shadow. Yet even their silent dominance is humbled when giants appear. Through the forest edge, massive silhouettes emerge. Elephants. Moving as though time itself bends around them, they stride with a presence that commands respect. For them, lions are no threat, merely another sound in the wilderness they rule. They are the giants of the land, and every creature recognizes their power. Elephants move as families, always guided by the wisdom of an elder female, the matriarch. She carries the memory of the land within her, the hidden springs, the salt-rich soils, the distant paths where rain still falls. Communication flows not only through trumpets and rumbles, but also through vibrations sent along the ground, felt across miles. After pausing near the lions, the herd shifts course toward the open plain, heading where the forest fades into grassland. perhaps to a place of meaning or simply the next step in their endless journey. The waterhole at the savannah's heart is a gathering ground for all life, and silence there is fleeting. As soon as the elephants depart, other travelers appear. Warthogs trot in with spirited steps, tails lifted like flags. Nearly everyone carries an oxpecker upon its back, the small bird busily plucking parasites and tending wounds. Guinea fowl scurry beneath the larger beasts, picking scraps missed by others. Soon, the land darkens with a new arrival, the wildebeest. Their vast herd moves as one, restless and alert, each hoofbeat echoing their nervous energy. Among them, the warthog stands out, rough-skinned and earth-colored, with short but powerful legs and tusks that curve like blades. Its high tail is no accident. It is a beacon in tall grass, guiding its young to follow closely, never losing sight of their mother. Though mostly grazers, they will not hesitate to dig for roots, tubers, or fallen fruit when the need arises. Instead of building elaborate shelters, an abandoned aardvark burrow often becomes their refuge. They back into the hole, tusks facing outward like spears, ready to defend themselves. Despite their stout build, warthogs are swift, capable of sprinting up to 30 miles per hour, and when trapped, they fight with surprising ferocity. Elsewhere, vultures descend in solemn procession upon a carcass. By midday, their work is nearly complete. Long necks reach deep into the ribcage, powerful beaks stripping away the remains. Now and then, a quarrel breaks out, but it ends as quickly as it begins. Each bird claims its share in this timeless ritual. They are nature's undertakers, transforming death into renewal. Within them, decay is purified, disease neutralized, and the land restored. When only skin and bone remain, the flock rises into the sky, leaving behind silence and a cleansed earth dot soon after. A giraffe makes its way to the waterhole, an artificial source, created for both wildlife and human eyes. Its towering neck seems draped in a living necklace, a flock of oxpeckers busily feeding on ticks and parasites. This partnership is as old as the savanna itself. The giraffe pauses, alert and wary, knowing that lowering its head to drink leaves it exposed. Before it does, it sweeps its nostrils with its remarkable tongue, a dark, flexible organ nearly 18 inches long. It scans the horizon carefully. To lower its head for water means surrendering its greatest defense, its towering height. Drinking becomes a precarious dance, legs spread wide, body lowered, exposing itself to danger. In the tall grass, lions linger, waiting in silence. They know that patience can be deadlier than claws. As the sun bleeds across the African sky, another predator emerges from the shadows, the leopard. Though not the continent's largest cat, it carries an unmatched balance of strength and agility that earns the respect of all around it. The male is a paradox of power, a ribbon of muscle stretching nearly 7 feet, yet weighing little more than a man. Built not for bulk, but for ruthless precision. Females are lighter, ranging from 62 to 132 pounds, standing just over 2 feet tall. This distinction, called sexual dimorphism, allows each sex to evolve traits vital to its role in survival. Beneath the forest canopy, sunlight dances across its golden coat, marked with black rosettes. These spots are not only camouflage, but also signatures of adaptation. Smaller, denser in rainforest leopards, larger and bolder on open plains. The leopard's form is a marvel of design. Compact, muscular shoulders and short yet powerful legs give it the strength to ascend vertical trunks while gripping prey in crushing jaws. Often, it drags antelope twice its own weight into the branches above. This is not display, it is survival, safeguarding its kill from rivals. Even more impressive is its versatility. Leopards thrive in almost every corner of sub-Saharan Africa, true masters of adaptation. The African leopard's remarkable ability to endure across diverse and unforgiving landscapes makes it one of the most widespread big cats on the planet. Unlike lions that depend on the unity of the pride, or buffalo that survive through herd strength, the leopard follows its own solitary path, silent, elusive, and lethally efficient. This solitude is not forced. It is its very essence. Leopards claim and defend territories alone, never forming communal groups. Research shows their diet shifts dramatically with environment. Where antelope or warthogs abound, they become the primary prey. Yet leopards are opportunists, feeding on monkeys, reptiles, birds, fish, and even insects. What sets them apart, however, is not only the range of animals they consume, but the unique way they hunt. Unlike predators that rely on relentless speed or sheer force, leopards stalk like shadows, gliding closer until within striking distance. When only a few meters remain, they launch in an instant, pinning their target with deadly precision. A crushing bite to the throat or neck silences the prey swiftly. This technique preserves precious energy, vital for a hunter without all eyes. Studies in Kruger National Park reveal most hunts unfold between dusk and dawn. Darkness shields them from stronger competitors, while their extraordinary night vision and sensitive hearing provide a clear edge. Even so, success comes in only about 38% of attempts. They do not always win, but they master timing, knowing when to strike, when to retreat, and how to protect every hard-won meal. In Africa's wild arenas, leopards and lions share no alliance. They are rivals bound by conflict. And when a leopard crosses the path of a buffalo herd by day, it passes without hesitation, understanding the boundaries of its power. If pursued by a herd, the leopard has one supreme advantage. It can scale trees to heights the buffalo cannot reach. From this elevated refuge, it bides its time, waiting for a lapse in vigilance before slipping away unseen. The fearsome reputation of the African buffalo, often called the Black Menace, comes not from its group dynamics, but from its fiery response to threat. They are infamous for volatility, raw power, and an instinctive defense that makes them among the most dangerous animals on the savanna. Even when challenged by elephants, the largest of the big five, they will not always yield. Where water and grass are plentiful, Cape buffalo and African bush elephants often coexist peacefully. Yet in the dry season, scarcity shifts the balance, and elephants typically assert control, forcing buffalo to adjust their drinking routines. Still, the buffalo is no passive rival. An elephant might attempt to displace one, but resistance is never far. In one confrontation, an elephant tried to push a buffalo aside with its trunk, only to be met with stubborn defiance. When the elephant raised a foot and struck, the buffalo retaliated with a sharp thrust of its horns. In another encounter, a buffalo stared down an elephant that had driven it off, standing so firm and unmoved that the giant finally paused, reluctant to advance until the buffalo